Good morning, my darlings. I just had to show you this gorgeous display that the ladies have put together for me. I wanted to get some blooms that are going to last a long time in the house. So we've got some gorgeous antique green hydrangeas and the burgundy ones. The darker colours hold their colour a lot better when you try to dry them. So I'm going to do a little bit of floral updates in the house this morning. But I've just done Pilates. I've got a few bits in my basket that we needed in the house, and for straw top, and Christmas has arrived at Daylesford. They've started putting out their Christmas decorations. The main Christmas evening is on November the 2nd, which might actually be when this vlog goes up. Either way, I'll give you a little sneak peek. And how gorgeous are these? Oh my gosh, Christmas is starting to arrive at Daylesford. They've got their Christmas preview evening on the 2nd of November, and the wreaths are up, the pine garlands are here. So exciting. I was literally in here yesterday, so they've been very busy Christmas elves overnight, but look at this. Christmas iced biscuit selection, organic mulled wine, cherry curd, that's new for this year. The Daylesford mince pies, oof, yummy. Tomato and chili jam, the Daylesford advent calendar, and this is new as well, peach and jasmine kombucha. That's a nice alcohol-free version for Christmas. Got the organic mincemeat. Oh, my mouth is watering. Incredible sunshine coming through our window. It was such a miserable morning, and now I just said to Charlie and Chloe it feels a little bit festive today with the low winter sunshine. It still hasn't even peeped around that tree yet, but yeah, there's a real nip to the air. Do you know what? I'm going to quickly pop on my shoes and check on the dahlias. Are there any that I can snip and bring into the house? Gosh, when the sun hits your skin, it actually feels warm, dare I say it. I think what I'm going to do later is go for a walk and do a little bit of foraging, because I do want to do a few more kind of berryish, crabapple-y kind of floral displays. Right. Oh, look how many of these have come up in just a few days. Wow, that is seriously exciting and impressive. Wow, it just makes me so happy how tidy it is in here. Any signs of life? Yeah, that's something coming through. I think I need to water those. But first, I've got my scissors. These shoes, by the way, they were from LK Bennett a couple of years ago. So wonderful for just sliding on if you want to go into the garden. Oh, look at this. Still so abundant, and we are nearly in November. Oh yes, look at that. I can see a labyrinth dahlia and a pom-pom or two. Gorgeous. Well, the pickings are far slimmer than they were earlier in the year, of course, but what beautiful colours. There we go. I've added those into my little seasonal harvest area. I just love the colours, they're so beautiful, and my little display of both faux velvet and real gourds down here at the front looks lovely. Now I need to tackle these. Oh gosh, that is a big dark shape. These are the hydrangeas that I picked up at Daylesford. The plan is to add them into the display in our entrance hall. So first of all, we need to freshen up the water and give it a little bit of an update. Ooh. So this is, hello, this is how it's currently looking. I'm just gonna do it in here because it's easier. It's just very dry and wiry, so hopefully we'll be able to add some life in. But first of all, I need to add some water. Actually, this is full of water from my workout this morning. And the reason we add water it's like where's Wally but where's Josie. The reason we add water is to keep the colour of the hydrangeas. And the thing that I forgot to do with these ones, they have dried out wonderfully, but they've gone crispy and they have lost a little bit of colour, is because I didn't keep trimming the bases of them. Whereas these, I'm going to trim the bases so that they retain that beautiful colour. With beautiful hydrangea like this, you want to remove the leaves because they just tend to dry out better if it's just the stem and the bloom. If there's a small one up here that looks nice while it's still fresh, keep it and then just remove it after a week or so. My goodness, it has exploded in size. It looks like an autumnal. I don't know what to call it, but it's definitely a lot more colourful and a lot more full than it was before. We've got a heck of a lot of leaves in there. It's wild and wonderful, just like we love our flower displays in this house. I'll pop up and show you the one that we've got in our bedroom as well in a second, because I did that the other day and that looks great. So I'm going to try and get this back in the entrance hall area now. Hopefully these will dry out better than these ones. It's a nice contrast at the moment, but I have to say these antique hydrangeas are my favourites. I was watching last night one of Leonora's latest vlogs, and she did a lovely hydrangea centerpiece in her entryway as well, and she actually mixed in faux flowers with real flowers. I think she used preserved leaves, which is a really lovely idea. I actually don't have any faux flowers, so I've kept this all foraged and natural. I think hydrangeas at this time of year are such a lovely seasonal addition to the home, and if you're growing them and you can forage leaves, then it's also very affordable. Also lasts a lot longer than fresh bouquets every week. It's always nice to see how these things look in situ. So here it is. I've twizzled it and I think I've decided this is my favourite angle. Might have to move that little bit of hazel because it's poking out and could be an eyeball hazard, but the colours look gorgeous, really nice and warm. I might take that hydrangea down by an inch just so it tucks in a bit more neatly. So let's see how this does. I definitely prefer how it looks now to how it did before. It was just a little bit too gappy before, and this room does demand something a bit more statement. So a few final tweaks and we are done. Okay, I'm just doing a little bit of freezer organising, which, yes, is just as fun as it sounds. These are my pre-rolled pumpkin chocolate chip coffee and oat cookies, which did turn out so well if you saw, I think it was the last vlog, and the mixture made loads of cookies. So now I can just grab a ball from the freezer whenever I want to make a cookie, which I might do this afternoon. I've got Kate coming over and she's gonna colour my hair this afternoon, which is why I'm in such a cozy outfit. Sorry, Dickens is just, are you okay, my baby? Choking on his water. That dog cannot even drink properly. Yes, I'll probably end up putting a cookie or two in the Aga for us to enjoy together later. I froze them separately, like not touching each other, on this tray, and now that they've frozen I'll put them in this bag, because otherwise if you freeze them all together in the bag from the word go, they just, I found this with energy balls, they just tend to like all become one giant cookie clump. There we go. Whenever I start rummaging in the freezer, Charlie appears because he is the king of freezer organisation. He's the king of everything organisation, but you've got a particular love of freezer organisation, haven't you?
I haven't. Do you know what it is?
Alright, here we go.
So what it is, and actually, do you know what, I could probably do having some therapy on it, but I think there are worse things to have addictions to. It genuinely makes me physically feel quite sick to see things badly organised.
You do genuinely have an OCD.
It's definitely, it stresses me out. And you're kind of we've got lots of things that are very well aligned in our relationship, we're very lucky. But this is the one thing where you're like the polar opposite. You'll quite happily just cram stuff in.
No, in my head it's organised, but we don't have the same category.
I don't think many people would agree that it's organised. But anyway, but equally, we always do this, don't we? Where we work at home together. We're very lucky we work together at home. However, we don't actually see each other that much during the day. So I might be in the office with Chloe. And you might be filming, but then at lunchtime we obviously get some time together, which is nice, but equally we're always sort of like, we both end up in the kitchen at the same time, don't we, even if we're eating different things.
Yeah.
So what are we eating today?
Well, so as I just mentioned, I've got Kate coming over to do my hair, which I can't wait for. Look how much it is needed. So I thought the easiest thing for me to do today, and something that we often do on very busy work days, is pop an Allplants in the Arga. They are chef prepared plant-based meals.
Just quickly though, what I was super impressed with, so we were already working with Allplants. I think we might even have been customers first, or maybe we got a PR send out, then we became customers.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the normal funnel of how it works with us. We receive something to try out, which is really great, and we obviously always declare that. And then we try it out, we love it, we become customers. They see we become customers, and then they think, okay, great, we'd love to work together. We're having the windows cleaned. So that's what happened with this. But also then I found out a girl I went to school with, Chloe, or actually sort of was in a friendship group, is within the marketing team. So I caught up with her for lunch, I don't know, about 4 or 5 months ago, and she explained, and I didn't even know this, they literally have like a prep kitchen in London, where they've got like 10 or 12 or maybe even more a prep kitchen where they're making all this stuff.
Yeah.
Fresh ingredients, and then obviously it gets frozen. And there's an argument that a lot of the veg in here is fresher than fresh veg, because it's like frozen at source, pretty much. So, and we've always, I know we've talked about it a lot before, but from my point of view, obviously I love cooking from scratch, but we're living in the middle of nowhere, particularly on a day like today where we've had quite a busy morning, we've got a lot going on in the afternoon. We don't have the time to be cooking from scratch right now, but we need a hit of goodness, and we can't go, we don't have the luxury of popping out to grab lunch. Quince and Clover's 25 minutes away, Daylesford's 20-25 minutes away.
Or a delivery service.
So it's just so good. We don't have it,
we do.
So good.
And obviously Charlie and I are very interested in gut health and nutrition, and one of the main things that everyone always says is to increase the amount of plants in your diet. This is a really great way of Charlie and I doing that. I mean, if you look at the ingredients, and we are both now obsessed with ingredients. We want to avoid ultra-processed food where possible. But the ingredients, okay, so the trick for finding if something is ultra-processed is if there are ingredients in it that you don't recognize, you don't have in your kitchen, that is a big hint. Whereas, by complete contrast, ingredients within this: chickpeas, coconut milk, onion, black lentils, red lentils, garlic, spinach, tomato, kale, chili, ginger, salt, cumin seeds, coriander. I mean, that's probably 15 plants, if not more. Celery.
Yeah.
Probably way more than that, actually.
It says who the dish is made by. This dish was made by Stefano.
This was made by Pavel.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, it literally says Uplands Business Park in the Allplants kitchen.
Yeah, it's East London.
And you get in this one, wow, I'm definitely having this for my lunch. This is 4 of my 5 a day. What's that one?
Yeah, I have to be honest, I don't believe in the 5 a day thing.
That is a bit of
that's a debate. That's a debate for another time. That's
you
the government.
You can play top trumps with Allplants. Allplants. That's your idea for April Fool's Day next year. Allplants top trumps cards, because mine trumps yours in the 4 of the 5 a day. Yours is 2.
I think the key thing though, well, the 2 key things from my point of view. One thing I love about Allplants is obviously the time it saves us, and it means you get healthy food. And I don't know about you, but I think, here's another idea. I reckon there's a hunger window in me. So I've done a gym session this morning, been active, I've had my breakfast, I've done a busy morning at work. I then get to about 11:45, midday, and then I'm in my hunger window. If I don't get food in my body within an hour of that, I start getting grouchy, I start feeling quite lightheaded, and also as I get closer to that sort of 1:30 p.m. outside of that hour window, I am less likely to eat something healthy because I'm also like, I just need something.
Yeah.
And I think that probably resonates with a lot of people watching this. Yeah. I remember that being a real thing when I worked in an office in London.
That was when we first tried Allplants, because we were getting home after a day of work in London. You do the commute, and especially in winter, it's pitch black when you leave work. It's pitcherer, blackerer by the time you get home.
Gosh,
and it's like 7 p.m. and a midweek dinner, just stick this in the oven. It's so easy. I was just thinking when you were talking about how angry you get, or how hungry you get, these quell the miffed gentleman.
Yeah, we'll have
if
to.
Anyone knows where that's from.
But so obviously there's that element, the time saving, but also now linking back to what we've learnt more through people like Tim Spector, is trying to get more and more different variety of vegetables and pulses and grains into your diet. These are great because there's lots of things in these dishes that we wouldn't otherwise buy or cook with. Do you know what I mean? So just by definition of eating these, we're getting all manner of things that we wouldn't normally cook with.
16 plants in this, and Tim Spector says you should aim for 30 a week, because that variety is what our little microbes need to eat to basically keep our body functioning in the best way possible.
Just to give you an idea, you've got Savoy cabbage, not really something we would cook with very often. Obviously edamame beans, not something we tend to cook with a lot.
White onion.
Porcini mushrooms. Yeah, I mean white onion obviously we would, but green pepper, but there's a lot more variety in this, and so I think also, is this what your vlog's about today, isn't it? I think interestingly, this morning I woke up with a bit of sore throat. Chloe, who works as part of our team, also isn't feeling 100% today. And I think it is that time of year where the temperature starts to drop, transition, the lack of light, potentially the lack of daylight. So I think even now more than ever, it's probably important that we really consider what we're putting in our bodies.
Look after your guts.
Not just gut, just health in general this time of year, because
your gut controls your overall health.
Okay, but in terms of vitamins and minerals, right?
A tea. Just before we move away from Allplants, I'm going to be making myself a Banana Blast protein smoothie. I know we slated putting protein on things. I feel like Allplants could probably ditch the word protein from this, because this is actually advertised.
Can I just address that though? I'm not slating protein, and I'm not a nutritionist, but I have trained since I was 15. I am in good shape, and I have also tried a lot of fads. My issue with, and I won't mention them again, but the brands we talked about before, are they're promoting themselves as meal replacement.
Oh gosh,
if a nutritionist tells you need more protein and you're struggling to get it in your diet through meat or veg sources, by all means take protein supplements. In this instance, I think the protein really is probably just going to give you a bit more satiation.
And it's actually not added protein, it's just the fact that the ingredients, again, banana, date, almond butter, cacao, chia, hemp.
It's the hemp.
Yeah.
I think hemp is high in protein.
It's natural protein. Anyway, so I'm gonna add this to some nut milk and the remainder of my morning coffee, and that's gonna be my mid-morning snack. And I also wanted to show you this because you can add these to your Allplants order. They are little pudding pots. I keep the jars, I reuse them, and I store and freeze stock in them.
They're good for nuts and stuff as well.
They are really good for nuts. This is a sticky banoffee pudding with toasted pecans and salted date caramel, all plant-based, even though we're not vegans. It's just great. And these came in really useful when we had my mum's friend over last week, because we didn't have any pudding. I hadn't made anything, so I just grabbed a few of these out of the freezer along with a scoop of my cinnamon ice cream, and it was amazing. So finally, I'm sure a lot of you have already tried Allplants and are loving it, but I do have a discount code, which is JosieX45, 45% off your first subscription box and 15% off your second and third, which is amazing. So that we'll leave a link for that down below if you do want to try Allplants. Right, I'm going to go and set up with Kate. I will probably have the chickpea dal for my lunch later. Do you want to tell me where in the freezer you want my cookies?
Well, it's also, the thing is, I am a stickler for like Jenga in a freezer. Right. Because we do make good use of our freezer, don't we? We do. Right, you do the freezer stacking. Or Jenga.
I'll let Kate in.
Tetris.
Freezer Tetris. You are the master. Well, this is quite the dashing look. Kate has popped in some baby lights, little highlights all over, and we've got our lunch in the Arga as we speak. And then after lunch, I think I guess I'll have to just hop in the shower and take these all out, and then we're going to do a little trim and blow dry to finish. Sorry, I know everyone gets annoyed when I look in the camera. Where should I look? Do I look at myself? Do I look there? Okay, lunch is served. Kate is having the dal, which looks and smells delicious. Chickpeas, we've got some crispy kale on top there, and I'm having my all-time favourite, which is the firecracker udon noodles. I popped a few little extra sesame seeds on top, and they look and smell delicious. So we are going to enjoy these, and then I'm going to hop in the shower, and I should have beautiful hair within an hour or so. Okay, my darlings, it's a few hours later and Kate has just left. She's left me with a fabulously bouncy blow dry and the most gorgeous natural blonde. I am thrilled, and that was just so very easy. Having Kate come to the house was a dream. I've had a very productive day. I just put on some eyeshadow and I feel like I've gone way too high up. I feel like I look like I've got Halloween makeup on. Yeah, I was able to get quite a lot of work done and just be here at home and not having to travel into London. Obviously, I adore Michael van Clark and getting my hair done there, but sometimes it's just great to have the convenience of an appointment at home. Taking an inch off the length and a real blonde top up. It has actually turned into such a glorious afternoon. I think I'm going to take the boys for a walk over the fields. I might wait for Charlie to get home. I think he will enjoy that as well. But we had a nice delivery today. Thought I'd just quickly show you this. It's from a brand called Penelope Chilvers. It is a really lovely, I believe they're British, 99% sure they're British, footwear brand, and I first saw Penelope's pieces in the Bamford boutique. I think they did a collaboration with Bamford. All their products are stocked there, which is obviously a very good sign that they've got Lady B's nod of approval. So I thought I would just open these with you and show you, because I feel like practical footwear at this time of year, I just get very excited by practical footwear, whereas I maybe would have got more excited by a pair of Manolos or Jimmy shoes when I lived in London. Now practical boots are what floats my boat, and these are just gorgeous. Oh my goodness, these are so beautiful. They are a very, very dark green, so dark that they still look like a neutral. They still look, I mean, they're just going to go with everything. My brown leggings, perfect for dog walks, but also very stylish. They've got a lovely leather detail at the top here with the tassels, beautiful deep rich brown leather at the top, brown leather on the heel, and this ambery coloured stitching. Very, very practical sole, especially when it starts to get icy. I actually started to see a few warnings on the road today for ice, which is crazy. Feels like summer was literally yesterday. I'm pretty sure these are waterproof. I will still spray them with my liquid proof. I think that would be very handy. What are you doing, Dexy? He's making so many noises. But also very practical that they have got this zippy section which opens it all up, which is just going to make it so much easier pulling these on and off. I mean, the quality, these feel absolutely stunning. I'm not going to be able to try them on for you now because I'm literally wearing my Lily Silk tracksuit bottoms, which these do not go with, but I'm sure you'll be seeing me styling them very soon. I actually had to send my calf measurement for these, so I know they're going to fit me absolutely perfectly, but how beautiful, such gorgeous quality. Cannot wait to wear these. Okay, so I just thought while I wait for Charlie to get back, because it's such a nice evening and he's gonna be home in half an hour or so, we'll go for a nice walk together. But I thought in the meantime I would prepare a nice soup for tomorrow's lunch. I just feel like this time of year is soup time, and I remember this March, do you remember when I was really ill for like 3 weeks? It didn't appear that dramatic on YouTube because I'd somehow managed to get like 2 weeks ahead of my filming schedule. So I actually only missed a couple of videos, but I was bedbound for at least 3 weeks and it was not fun. I did COVID tests and they were coming back negative, but I still think it might have been some weird variation. Anyway, the lovely guys at Emily and Fraser from Barefoot Oxford, they dropped off a care package which included, and this is just so kind, isn't it? They sent over a pot of their homemade parsnip and apple soup, and ever since then that is just like my cure. Not that I feel poorly, but Charlie mentioned that he's starting to feel a little bit run down, so I thought I would make up a batch of parsnip and apple soup. The sweetness of the apple just balances so nicely with the kind of earthy tanginess of a parsnip. The only problem though is that the recipe calls for onion, and I just always presume that we are fully stocked with onions. In this cupboard here, there's normally a load, we normally have a string of them, and then there's normally some in the fridge as well, and yet today we have no onions. So I've just texted Charlie to see if he can also pick some up, but I thought I would do the rest of the prep. Parsnip and apple soup also uses chicken stock, and I have got my delicious chicken stock that I made on Sunday. I think I'd stopped vlogging by this point, but basically I took the bones from our roast chicken and the veg that Charlie used in the gravy, and I brewed it in some water for a couple of hours, and now we have got the most delicious homemade chicken stock, and I got a little bit of my vegetable stock left as well, so that's going to be super tasty. My recipe calls for 600 grams of parsnips and 600 grams of apples, so that means I need to go into the garden and pick some apples. It never looks as dramatic on camera as it does in real life, but this low sunshine coming through the trees is just pure magic. It really doesn't look like anything on camera, but the whole garden is glowing, as is my little bunny's tail. Right, let's see if any apples have fallen recently. If you're going to cook with apples straight away, it's fine to get fallen ones, but if you're going to store them, then they do tend to rot, so better to only store apples that are picked fresh from the tree. Oh yes, plenty to choose from. At this time of year, being later in the season, that the apples that fall from the tree would be bigger, but actually they're smaller, which is very peculiar and just doesn't make sense in my head. Maybe someone can explain this fact for me. I mean, that is like the average size that's falling from the tree at the moment. How peculiar. Ooh, my trousers are not done up. This is my favourite view of the house through the archway while the herbaceous border is still in full bloom. And look, the crab apples are coming. It won't be long. This is all going to turn a golden red colour, and do you know what? It doesn't look like there's that much fruit this year. But last year it was absolutely heaving with little crab apples. Well, it's such a gorgeous afternoon. I'm actually just going to sit out here and do my carrot and parsnip chopping and peeling. I need 600 grams of apples, so let's get going. Charlie has just got back home and we have got onions, which is fantastic. I have peeled and chopped around 600 grams of apple, and I've now got some butter melting on the hob. I've got 2 onions here which I'm going to chop up and then add to that butter on the hob. I better put my onion goggles on. What was the hack? I think it's if you keep your onions in the fridge, maybe? Then they don't make you cry. I will of course keep these bits for the veggie stock that I will be making at the weekend. sauteing there in the pan. I'm gonna add the rest in now. I know that will have been on a time lapse, but please ignore that onion cutting technique. That was literally the worst technique ever. And as you can see, Charlie swapped my chopping board. Apparently I was using the wrong board. The bits of onion that are left, like the bit that was just attached to the skin, etc., I will be using that for a stock a little bit later. Now I'm going to finally chop a garlic and pop 2 cloves in there as well. Oh, I just love making soup. I find it so therapeutic. I don't think you can actually have too much garlic, so I'm actually going to increase it to 3. Garlic is so good for your immunity, so the more the merrier at this time of year. Fun fact, did you know the royals do not eat garlic? Probably because they don't want bad breath on royal appointments. Don't know where I read that. Probably 20% chance that it's actually true, but there's your little fact for the day. Okay, here we have got around 600 grams of parsnips, and I've chopped them up into kind of walnutty sized chunks. I'm just giving it a good stir so that the olive oil and the butter and, oh dear, oh me, and those softened onions gets all over the parsnip. And then I'm going to pop the lid on for 15 minutes. I'll stir it a few times in that amount of time, and then we'll add in the apples, season with salt and pepper, add my lovely stock, and then we'll leave everything to cook for a further 20 minutes. Okay, so I have added in my apples, and they've just been in with the parsnips literally for 2 minutes. Now, the fun bit, I'm going to add in my stock, then I'm going to bring it up to a boil and then let it simmer for about 20 minutes. And this is our gorgeous homemade chicken and veggie stock. This is going to be so delicious and full of goodness. Mm-mm. 5 minutes later, my parsnip was nice and soft, so I've drained it. Well, I haven't drained it because in here is the veggie broth and everything that was just cooking. As you can see, very, very full. And I've added a splash of milk and some pepper to taste. To be honest, it does need a little bit more milk, I would say, but obviously I can't add any more to the fan mix. So what I will do tomorrow when I'm serving this is I'll just do it half and half. Maybe add some cream instead of milk, but obviously milk makes it a little bit healthier, and a little bit more pepper. But for now, I'm going to let this cool down, and then I will pop it into some of our bottles overnight. But there we go, homemade parsnip and apple soup. Yummy. So Charlie and I have just finished our dinner, and Charlie went to check on the cottage earlier today and found that our last guests have left us a little treat, which is very, very kind of them.
We told the story about our last guests.
No, so basically, we actually met these guests at...
No, yeah.
Do you want to tell it, Johnny?
Well, yeah, I think...
Go on, you tell the story.
So every year, we donate a stay at the cottage, a 3-night stay at the cottage, to our village fete. Mm-hmm. And it's normally for the raffle. Yeah. It was the raffle. And basically, this year, a lovely family, Angela, Paul and Esme, came to the fair, sort of, I guess, in the hope of meeting you. And we met them, and that was lovely. Mm-hmm. And then they entered the raffle. Now, I would say, 95% of the people that go to the fair are probably from our village or one of the 3 or 4 villages around. So, when we were contacted by the organisation that run the fair and said, so-and-so have won the prize, they're from Lincoln. It was Lincoln, wasn't it?
I think so.
Or Lincolnshire. And we were like, what? That must be Esme, Paul and Angela. Mm-hmm. So anyway, really lovely that we were able to let them experience Straw Top. Mm-hmm. They stayed this weekend just gone. So I think we're on our longest run of bookings, I think. Because we have a booking almost every week, but obviously every now and again there's the odd weekend free. But I think we've had 9 or 10 in a row now. So it's going very well, but it was really nice to have them stay. And yes, I mean, we don't expect a gift when people stay, but they've left us a gift, which is very generous. A really nice card. And importantly, they have left gift for Dexter. And Dexter knew.
Daddy, I knew.
He knew because he kept sniffing this bag.
Smell
He's
it.
such a clever dog.
Daddy, what have they got for me? Because I'm really peckish.
Duck, 100% duck. Oh, it's very healthy.
Oh,
what's this?
Oh,
He's
Esme,
like resting
we are
his snout
so happy.
He's resting his snout on one.
I'm doing a resty snoot.
You are a funny dog. You're excited.
Daddy, we are so excited. We really love this family.
I'm trying to get into He's getting a bit worked up now. I love the leaning of them. Oh, what's this?
Oh, you lucky boys.
What is this? So watch how predictable. Dickens will just jump away with this and run away. Dickens will take it somewhere else. He'll go and eat it in a corner somewhere.
I like to eat it in privacy. Oh, we love
them. Do you know
them.
what that is a result? Because Dexter and Dickens are very picky when it
They
comes to
are
treats.
incredibly fussy, but they are enjoying these.
There are some other gifts in here, but I don't think we should open everything. No, I think we should just say a massive thank you.
Oh.
And yeah, and generally thank you to everyone that has supported Straw Top Cottage. We've got the second cottage finally launching, hopefully by the end of the year. It's been a long time coming.
It has.
Um,
It's looking good though.
But what I would say is, obviously it's a business that we have ventured into, but I think if I'm completely honest, the money we put into those cottages, we could probably have made, if it was all about money and making money, we could have made more money doing other things. It's as much for us about sort of creating a platform where we can hopefully let people experience the things the things that we love about living in the Cotswolds with you all and with lots of people. Plus, it's proven to be a really nice platform which we can use to promote the local area and promote small businesses that we also love, the likes of Quince and Clover, the likes of the Nicholsons.
We'll have to show everyone that watches the guidebook that we have in Straw Top Cottage, because that's got some really lovely little tips and stuff.
And we're constantly evolving it. I think obviously the attention is more on the second cottage at the moment, but even like adding little things, and we're always taking constructive criticism. Literally only a couple of weeks ago, we've had glowing reviews, but we had someone say actually the top floor bedroom could really do with a small chest of drawers, and so we've ordered one.
Ordered?
Yeah, I've found one online. So
from where? From an antique place?
Yeah.
I was going to say, we don't buy new furniture.
No, exactly. So what I mean is it's not the perfect, it's never going to be finished. I think we're always going to be adjusting it. And if the second cottage goes well and is like the first cottage,
then we'll buy a hotel chicken nugget.
Well, no, then I think we would, if we can afford it, we would love to provide a more family appropriate cottage in the future, because both of these are 2 bedrooms, and I think they're perfect if we've had people stay with young babies, and I think they're perfect. But I think once a child gets over about the age of 4,
those stairs
I think they're probably, I would always err on the side of caution, and certainly not more than 1 child, I wouldn't say. But they're great if you've got dogs or pets or anything like that. But yeah, so there you go. Well, thank you to Esme, Paul and Angela.
Thank you. We have the best guests ever.
We do. And you know what? We'll stay there. When we do have an opening again, we'll stay there, because Dexter and Dickens have never stayed there.
That's not good enough, Daddy. I'm really annoyed at that, actually.
God, they wolfed those down.
They did. They loved them.
You go.
Thank you very much. Good morning, my darlings. It is Wednesday morning and we've got a really different day planned today, which I'm excited to hopefully share as much as possible with you. I've started today with a 45-minute workout here in the gym. I mentioned this to you before, but I'm using an app called Copilot, and I've basically been paired with a personal trainer. She's actually based in the US, but I'm in constant contact with her. Her name is Jill. We've designed a routine together, or she's designed a routine based on me showing her what we've got in the gym and what I want to do, etc. And it's honestly just amazing. It gives me the, accountability that I personally need. As I mentioned, our old PT Simon moved to Germany, and yeah, I just basically wasn't doing my weight sessions until Copilot, and now I have Jill to answer to. She might not physically be here, but she messages me, she sends the workouts to the app. I've got them on my Apple Watch, and it's, oh, sorry, I don't know what's going on here. It's absolutely amazing. I did my barbell deadlifts. I've done a load of other exercises, and she's even introduced me to some new moves that I wouldn't have known before. I think it's been great that I had Simon to begin with, like someone physically with me until I know my form, because you do not want to hurt yourself and do weightlifting wrong. That could be really, really dangerous. What you could do is just go to a gym and just have someone like watch over you while you do it. But this app is amazing, and yeah, I'm loving it, is the moral of the story. So what is happening today is we have got, hang on a second. So, sorry, this is very odd to show you, chatting to you like this. Yeah, what's happening today is we have got a first aid trainer coming to the house, because we realized that in Fashion Mumbler HQ, none of us are actually first aid trained. What would happen if someone needed assistance? Like, none of us would know what to do. And I think in general life, it's really good to know a little bit of basic first aid. I obviously won't share any details, but a friend was at a wedding recently, and tragically, someone actually died at the wedding. And my friend was saying that no one really knew what to do. Like, no one at the wedding had first aid knowledge. And obviously you can never look back at these things and think what could have been different, because that would just torture you. But I would like to think that I've got basic knowledge that if someone really needed assistance, I would have that little bit of knowledge of helping them. Whether it's putting someone in the recovery position, I don't know. We've paid for someone to come over and spend a day with us and give us first aid training. We've not asked them if we can film anything, so I might not be able to, but obviously I would love to show you guys some bits if I can. Can you imagine if someone watches this video and picks up a tip that ends up saving someone's life? Like, that would be absolutely amazing. Hopefully none of you will ever have to be in that position to have to do that. But if you are, hopefully I can share something that might come in useful. Obviously, yeah, take care in all of these situations. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. He's arriving, or she, I don't know if it's a male or a female. They're arriving in an hour. I actually want to fake tan before they get here. We're spending the day at home, and I'm sure no one will mind if I'm a little bit fake tan smelly, and I just feel like I really need it. I exfoliated and shaved yesterday, so I'm a blank canvas, ready to go. So let's do that. I made the parsnip soup as you saw yesterday, so lunch is ready to go when we need it. Wow, I look scruffy. Loving my hair though. Obviously not right now because it's in a messy bun, but yeah, the colour is amazing, so thank you, Kate. To show you, if you are analytics motivated like I am, this is the kind of thing that you see after a Copilot workout. Sorry, it's so dark. Let me try walking over here. You can see your stats from the workout. You can see any records that you've broken. You can see what thing you did that was best, your muscles that you've worked. I've just sent a note saying, sorry, I was a little bit sore today, so maybe could have done better from my Pilates earlier in the week. And yeah, amazing. So I'll send that to Jill. And I'm also going to send her a form video. I recorded myself doing one of the barbells, and we can get a little sneak peek as to what Friday's workout is going to be as well. Let's see, an upper and lower push. Amazing. So yeah, great start to the day.
You can roll fold down into body bandaging if we want to secure limbs. If, for example, I've got a dislocation, I've put a sling on the arm.
pretty sure.
Happy days. There you go. Nice and soft.
She's used the flipping scissors with the pattern.
Flipping scissors. Yeah, no, it's
Look,
so that it
presentation
doesn't
is
fray.
everything.
It's so that it doesn't fray.
There we go.
Now we've got two.
God, you see what I'm dealing with.
Cool.
Practicality.
Yeah,
this
this
might
is a little
save your
insight
life one
into,
day, darling.
It's all well and good having this, but I don't know how to use it.
Okay, so that's a trauma bandage. You kneel on that sucker. If you're continuing to have flow coming around that, then we need to think about a tourniquet, okay, in that respect.
This is called an Israeli bandage.
Yeah.
So then that is creating the pressure in that one point, is that the...
Yeah.
So the cut would be... It would be, you would line that up with it.
Yeah. Now, and just roll. Okay.
I'm fine now.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, well, I was holding my breath the whole time. No, I was waiting for you to save me.
Yeah.
Look at Dexy. Dexy's
It's all right,
there to help.
He's checked you out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
Daddy is
look,
okay.
he's looking after
Daddy
Daddy.
is okay.
This is cool. So, in this situation, I'm going to be checking for danger, looking around me. I'm going to try and wake Charlie up, getting down, shouting in his ears. I'm not getting anywhere. At this point, I want to get some help. Come and help me. Get help coming as quickly as possible. If that's not coming or forthcoming, I'm going to check breathing.
What do you ask the person helping to do? Just call 999.
Yeah, move anything we need to.
Secure the area.
Secure the area like that. I'm just going to do head tilt chin. If you're happy for me to touch
yeah,
your hip,
no
manipulate.
problem.
Good. Just bring that up. And do breathe, or else I'm going to be on your chest in a minute. There you go. I know he's breathing now, but I don't want to leave him in this position. So, nearest arm to you for recovery, just up in what I call please miss or please sir position, like you're asking a question in class. Don't feel you've got to push that down, crunch, no. Just leave it where it falls, it'll sort itself out.
I said, why do you do that?
Because you hold fire, because you're going to come into this side
I'll
position.
show you in a minute.
Oh, okay.
And it gives the platform to keep your head up, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You come in and that helps to provide stability, and with this hand, it creates the spacer to keep the mouth above the ground.
Right.
So this hand, very often when they're unresponsive, the fingers are clawed, okay? Just open them up, palm to palm, and then just hold it against their cheek, okay? Now the reason we've got to hold it there, because if we don't, because they're relaxed, they're super floppy.
Flop it down, mate.
Yeah, and it'll come away. So we just hold it in place there.
Enjoying the sun.
Now, little tip for you, if you've got a long casualty and you're a short first aider, you might not be able to reach their knee. So just hold the elbow, that's going to keep the hand where you want it, and it's going to give you a little bit more reach.
Oh.
But generally, palm to palm, hand to cheek, grab the knee, pull it up, and then you just push down on that knee, and that rolls them over. If we haven't got a positive roll on the shoulders, because Charlie's musculature now is working against me here, you told me you worked out, right? You do, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just bring that over.
So then you're over, okay, so the face is facing downwards.
Yeah. Relax.
Like that.
Yeah, and that knee's in right angle now. So that's going to be our platform there in terms of where face plant. Now there's one part to manoeuvre which is the whole reason we've done this. I haven't done, I've forgotten. What's that, do you think?
Is it making sure the chin's up?
Yeah. Because this is the whole reason we've done it.
Yeah.
And in that spacing now, Charlie's mouth's that far off the ground. So if he does vomit, he's just going to evacuate. That airway's going to stay nice and clear. And then in this position, I can leave him for a short time, come back, and I can just monitor breathing in that respect.
And this is the recovery maintenance position.
Not recovery, maintenance position, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the maintenance position.
For the benefit of the video, do you want to explain why it's the maintenance position?
Because it maintains that open airway.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's classically referred to as the recovery position. Because
But they're not recovering.
No,
You're just maintaining their...
You're waiting for someone
I think it's more
professionally trained to arrive, aren't you?
Right.
Exactly. I think it's more descriptive to call it the maintenance because we're maintaining that open airway
I
Yeah.
see.
in that respect. Now, I rolled you onto your left, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Got no injuries going on. Left is my side of preference. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's a good idea?
Blood to the heart.
Good question.
Especially after lunch. Because if you lay on your left-hand side, it makes you less prone to reflux, and therefore less prone to vomit.
Oh, wow.
Now, if Charlie had injuries, he had bleeds or things like that, wherever the bleed is, I'm going to patch them up, get it under control, and then I really want bleed side down. So if we had bleeds along this side, great, we get that down. It's a little counterintuitive because we think, oh, well, we want to see what's going on. But actually, rather than have the bleed up and then potentially bleed through themselves, I want it down so they can...
So it's going, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Now, if we had a lady here that was properly pregnant, one way we can roll mum, and it's going to preserve her airway and keep her and baby safe. And the other way we roll mum, we could potentially kill them both. So we roll mum to her left or her right.
I reckon the right then.
Really?
You're going down to counterintuitive,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Which is the correct answer. No.
Oh my gosh, so
We
always
lie
left.
lovely
So it's
ladies to
always
the
left then.
Left,
Okay.
left, yeah.
So left is always the way then.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Unless there are
Even easier.
injuries and
Unless they're
things.
bleeding
Yes,
out on the
yes,
left.
yeah.
As long as you're not pregnant, it's no bother. And now if the lady isn't a long way on, like you can't really see a bump, there's not enough of a baby to give us a problem.
Yeah.
If she's heavily pregnant, yeah, we've got to lie lovely ladies to the left.
Wow.
Because if we roll mum to her right, the baby presses up against the inferior vena cava vein and could potentially cut off blood flow to itself and mum. So we lie lovely ladies to the left. In fact, just like
All the
everybody.
Lie everybody to the left.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chest is where we generally find sternum in the middle of the chest there. Okay. Heel of the hand, place it on the sternum, fingers up. And the reason we're doing that is we're minimising the surface area, which maximises the downward pressure. If we're trying to press down the whole of the hand, it becomes really hard work. Whereas the heel of the hand, it makes it easier. Think about where your shoulders are. If your shoulders are quite way back, it's going to make it much harder work. If your shoulders are past your hands, you're too close to the cavity, it's going to make it harder work. Get your shoulders to a point where they're just above your hands, lock out your arms, bring your fingers up and push.
That is going down a long way.
Yeah, now Annie very helpfully clicks when you hit depth. You can see how that chest becomes concave.
My gosh.
Now my arm is shaking because it's taking quite a lot of pressure
Wow.
to keep that chest down. Okay,
Wow.
now these Leodale mannequins are rated to give us a pretty good approximation of what it feels like to do this
Wow.
on an adult. Okay, now speed is a thing. You see my arms are doing absolutely zero. doing
Yes, your hips,
It's
right?
your hips, your core and your back, right?
this. Yeah, it's coming from here. Okay, if you kept your arms floppy,
Yeah.
you see how it instantly becomes quite hard to do it. Locking out your arms is a really good tip because that means all that downward pressure is being deployed into the chest. Now, in terms of speed, we've all heard of stand on, stand on.
Oh, I thought it was Nelly the elephant.
Or Nelly the elephant packed a trunk. Yes. Yeah. We're looking for about 100 to 120 compressions a minute. So a couple of seconds-ish.
Okay.
Now, if we go too fast,
You're not getting anything, and you're going to knacker out as well.
you're going to get really tired really quickly. Plus, you're not allowing the heart to refill with blood, so then you can push it around the circulatory system. So you're going to start fast because you're going to be flapping, but then think, okay, I've got this. Stand on, stand on.
Have you seen the Alan Partridge sketch of this?
Oh, I haven't.
I'm going to have to show it to you at some point.
As far as you're comfortable going, and then just go a little bit beyond it. Remember, looking for that credit card depth.
Wow.
Okay. You start 30 compressions. Now your first round is going to be all over the place because you're going to be shouting for help. Perhaps you're talking on speakerphone to the emergency services. You know, do roughly what you think is about 30. Then it's time to think about rescue breaths. Whatever we're doing in terms of delivering breaths or checking breathing or whatever, we've got to have that airway open. Head tilt, chin lift. Now, a good tip is to keep your hand on their forehead because that keeps that head manipulated where you want it. Essentially, I want that chin looking up at me. Pinch the nose off, because if you don't pinch the nose, that rescue breath goes into the mouth and straight up your nose rather than going down into the lungs. Then make a big seal with your lips like a nice O, clamp on nice and tight. You know, it's a little unfortunate, but think about it in terms of giving them the snog of their lives. Okay, no tongues. Pinch the nose, O with your mouth, clamp on.
Wow, it actually inflates.
Wow!
See that inflation? Now I just have a cheeky look out the corner of my eye so I can see that chest moving in its periphery. Some people breathe and look and check. And they look for their chest to rise and fall. I find it's just more efficient for me just to look at my periphery. Now, If I've, for example, forgotten to manipulate the head, so I haven't opened the airway, I failed, change the angle of dangle, you've got a good one in, leave it there, and back on the chest. Remember what I said before.
So how many breaths would you say?
2.
Just 2?
Just 2.
And then 30, and then 2, and then
30
30.
to 2. 30 to 2. And then we just keep on going.
Wow.
Like that.
First of all, I'm checking that they're breathing.
Yep.
That's the first
Head
thing.
tilt,
Well,
chin lift.
first of all, I'm checking that there's no danger anywhere.
Perfect.
Dexter's a threat.
I'm
Oh, it's a
okay,
bit sunny.
except for a ferocious dog. Are they breathing on my cheek?
Remember, open the airway, head tilt, chin
Oh yeah,
lift.
that first.
Good.
Okay.
See what's happened to her mouth when you lift from the chin.
Oh, it's closed. So that's why you do it from the head.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Right.
Look, listen,
No,
girl.
she's not breathing.
That was a very quick 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
We'll read it as
10
10.
seconds. 10 seconds checking. 10. Yeah, 10 seconds. Not breathing. So keep the head
Help,
down.
help, help. Let's get some
Yeah.
help coming.
I know if you shout in their ears yet.
Good.
Oh yeah. Annie, can you hear me, Annie? Tap, 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 tap. No, she can't hear me. She's not responsive.
Brilliant.
Dexter,
And then we're
this is
straight
why not.
into the chest now.
But do I not need to scan?
Dickens, Dexter, go.
As soon as breathing is absent,
Yeah.
straight
Dickens.
to the chest.
Okay, so.
Hang on.
Love it.
Okay, so you've checked.
No danger anywhere. I've
Good.
checked and she's not breathing. I've tried to alert her. She's not becoming alert, so now I'm going to do CPR.
Yes.
Have you
Keep
got-
the hand on that sternal bone in the middle of the chest, just
There.
there. Lock out the arms, long and strong.
Is she gonna
Shoulders
stay
over your
Go
arms.
down the head. We can let that drop.
there?
Shoulders over arms.
That's it. Good, strong push.
Yeah, nice.
Yes. Now we're
Slower.
doing it. Lovely job.
Wow, it's quite hard work.
Yeah,
It is
keep going.
hard work.
Keep breathing yourself. Dexter.
Of course, in reality, you'll have the benefit of adrenaline. That's going to give you a heap of strength.
Dexter.
Okay, mouth to mouth
Mouth to mouth. Pinch
Yeah.
your nose on.
with that hand,
Yeah.
holding it back.
That's it. Big O with your mouth.
Keep that head tilted back.
Back, back, back. Yes!
Nice.
Outstanding rescues. Right, leave it there. Don't keep trying it. That's it. Onto the chest. Lovely
30
job.
more.
Oh, you're in your flow now. That's looking much easier straight away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic
It's a workout.
stuff. Yeah, oh, it certainly is going to be a
Dexter.
workout today.
28, 29, 30. Are
Good.
you breathing? No, he's still not breathing.
Good, good, good. Lovely. Head back a bit further. Awesomeness.
Did that go up? Yeah.
Yeah.
It did indeed. Icy enough, so relax.
I think he's breathing now.
He's alive! Yay!
Yes.
Yeah. And then, hopefully, the paramedics arrive.
Here he comes.
Looks like a young me. I was quite blonde when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Right.
Check for danger.
Why the ears like this?
Because it holds the face on.
Oh gosh. It's a bit,
Because when we're done, they all come off, go through the dishwasher.
yeah.
Then I freak the neighbours out by hanging them out.
Oh my gosh.
My youngest, when she was 6, she got hold of one of the faces, took a snap of it, texted her mate, "I'm coming for you." Definitely got my sense of humour.
I mean, these could definitely be put to good use at Halloween.
Ah, for sure.
Wouldn't it? Right, okay, so I'm going to check the area. I'm
Good.
going to ask someone, Chloe, would you get your phone out and get
Yep.
ready?
Lovely
Right.
job.
Annie, are you breathing, Annie?
Good.
No, no response. Okay, so we're now going to tilt the head back like
Cool.
this.
That opens the airway. That's
Open
where we
the
can be
airway.
checking the breathing. Yeah,
Now I just
lovely.
need to
Good,
give it
good,
10
good.
seconds. It's going to be the slowest 10 seconds of anyone's life.
Oh, it does
No,
feel
no
like such a
breathing,
long time.
no breathing. So, now I need to find the sternum,
Heel of the hand
heel
on
of
the
the hand,
apex of the chest.
and then lock my arms, shoulders over. Oh, right.
You smashed that.
Like that.
Absolutely. Guess what? There's going to be a rib going here and there. But look, we're doing really well.
Therefore, I'm trying to do my CPR.
What is it for rugby players?
Right.
Is that not
Excellent
too
stuff.
hard?
No, not good.
Pinch your nose.
Oh yeah.
Lovely, good. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Awesome
well done.
inflation. Very good. And again, fantastic stuff.
Still no breathing, Annie. Come on, Annie.
Cool.
Come on, Annie.
Hello.
Don't die on us, my man. You were doing so badly. Come on, Annie. Oh, we're good. She's
We're
good.
good.
Yeah.
Very good.
What's that? You're a Liverpool fan? Okay.
Just behind the dog's shoulder, and we're compressing the rib cage here.
Right.
And then you can just, with the rescue breast, we figured out going into the nose, that's the best place to go. Now, I need a little bit of room, please, mister.
Dexy, out the way,
you're gonna
please.
come.
You've done your modelling.
Come on,
Bless
then.
him.
Good
Daddy,
boy.
I'd
Very good boy.
really like
You give him
to.
a treat and that'll keep him out of the way for a minute.
Attach pads.
So it's ordering me now what it wants me to do.
Attach pads.
Number 1 goes into the casualty's upper right chest, rub down.
Attach pads.
Number 2, back off. Into
Oh,
the
wow.
left-hand side.
Attach pads.
And why is that then?
Because it's our direct route of
Attach
shot
pads.
through the heart to knock it out. If we had the pads up here,
Attach pads.
electricity takes the shortest route, it'll just jump between them without knocking
Attach
the
pads.
heart out.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Makes
And for the
sense.
benefit of the video, the
Attach
key
pads.
thing to realise here is this is rebooting the heart,
Attach
not
pads.
restarting it. If there's no heartbeat,
Attach
this
pads.
isn't necessarily the option, is it?
It is.
It is.
Attach
It is
pads.
because we don't know there's no heartbeat
Attach pads.
just because they're not breathing. 'Cause
Sure.
the heart could be in fibrillation or it
Okay.
could be flatline.
Attach pads.
If it says no shock and they're not breathing, yeah, it's flatline.
Attach pads.
Just continue with our CPR, okay? And then when
Attach
it does another analysis in 2 minutes' time,
Attach
there might be
pads.
something for it to work with.
Right, okay.
So we leave it on. So once
Attach
those
pads.
pads are on, it'll sense that.
Do not touch the patient. Analyzing heart rhythm.
Hands off at this point. Make sure the knees not touching them or anything like that.
Shock advised.
Right, it's found a shockable rhythm. It's charging now.
Stand clear.
Wow.
Press the flashing orange button now.
When it's lit,
Deliver
it's
shock
charged, ready to
now.
go.
Shock delivered.
She'll buck at that point, and then we're on to the
Begin
chest.
CPR now. First, push the chest down fast, 2 inches.
So it's counting for us and giving us optimal rhythm. So I'm not counting now or really worrying about anything, just following that.
Oh.
Give 2 breaths. Breathe. Breathe.
And so you continue.
Second, push the chest down fast, 2 inches.
Wow.
Now, with pad placement, this is perfect pad placement. If something a little odd's happened in the heat of the moment, that's still absolutely fine because it's in the right general area. Okay. Even something like this, totally cool with that. That's absolutely fine. What I don't want to see is for you to look at, oh yeah, that's not perfect. Remove it, lose some of the gel backing, and then it's like, oh, the pad's not sticking anymore. Sometimes the defib will have a second set of pads in there, but if it hasn't, you're knackered. Then you just have to try and sort of press it down and hope that it's got enough contact to deliver the shock. Now, also in the heat of the moment,
Temptation's got to be as well for some people, I reckon. If you asked 10 people in a room, where would you put the pads, they'd say
yeah,
nipples. Or
Because
something like
that's
that.
what you see in films, right?
yeah, like a boom on the chest.
You do, don't you?
You know, again, it's another one of those.
Watching, which I know you watch our videos.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, Quentin.
So Quentin and David Beckham both watch the videos.
And Martin Scorsese, I know he's a regular subscriber. If you're watching this, please sort your Hollywood scripts out and make them first aid accurate.
Yeah, it should be a legal requirement.
It should be a legal requirement.
Absolutely, totally agree.
Yeah.
Now, if in the heat of the moment, your bystander has transposed the pads, guess what? All good to go. The pads are what we call biphasic. As long as we've got one up here and one here, we're good.
Ah, okay.
You know, it's only if in the heat of the moment your bystander's obviously done
Ouch.
something very wrong.
Yeah. And sorry, so the numbers, it doesn't matter which
Doesn't
number
matter.
goes.
As long as we've got one up here and one here, we're good to
Right.
go. They're numbered for non-trained individuals to kind of take the faff factor out, so they're like, yeah, that one goes there, that one goes there.
Okay.
So it gives them less time when they're hesitating on what to do.
Walking down the street. Oh my god, there's somebody on the floor. Danger. Is there any danger around me? No, there's no danger. We're all good. Annie, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Annie? Annie, can you hear me? Excuse me, gentlemen, can you remove that dog and can you go and call an ambulance? The patient is... 10 seconds later. The patient is not breathing.
Don't forget to open the airway.
Yes.
That's it, now we can check. Good, good, good.
They're
good.
definitely not breathing. Call an ambulance for me, please. Okay, right, so we've
Get
got his
some
head
compressions
back.
on, wait for it, wait
And
for it. Yeah, crack
Now
on.
I start doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Arms locked out,
Shoulders over.
tight and strong. Lovely job. Really good.
Right.
Now don't play
Where's
dumb.
the
You know what to do. Work together.
Yeah. Right, I've got the defib, mate.
1920, but I do this twice through before defib.
Whenever the defib comes, prep
Yeah.
them.
Alright,
Don't worry about the
let's
recipes.
defib.
Right, let's get her kit off.
Get the kit off.
Right,
Cut, cut.
sorry Annie, have you got any scissors? We need to take off her necklace.
Yeah, see you later, necklace.
Brilliant
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, it's
Good.
Van Cleef.
Right, let's turn this. Oh no, we turn it on.
Good.
Right, to get these in the right position.
Thank
So,
you
Don't
very
forget to take
much.
the back off.
Attach pads.
Take the backs off.
take the backs off.
Lovely
Help.
job.
Attach pads. Do not touch the patient. Analyzing heart rhythm.
Okay, I'll manage this. Then you get going on the CPR. In a
Yeah,
minute.
but we've got to shock her first.
Yeah, it's charging.
Shock advised.
Wait for the light.
God, this will be the longest.
Stand clear. Press the flashing
Okay, we're gonna go.
Clear, clear, clear. Shocking.
Shock
Good.
delivered.
As soon as the shock's delivered,
Go.
she's safe to
Shock
touch.
now.
Go.
First,
Few
push
cheeky
the
extra
chest
ones,
down
doesn't matter.
fast, 2 inches.
Lovely stuff. Good sense of rhythm, Josie. Yours.
Give 2 breaths.
Pinch your nose.
Breathe.
Good.
Breathe.
Get your hair out the way, Doris.
Second, push the chest down
Right.
fast, 2
First aider,
inches.
you're exhausted. Bystander, take over on the
Yeah,
chest.
right.
Go on,
switch.
tired.
Okay.
Quickly, bystander.
Come on, Annie.
Relax. Don't worry. You're done. You're done. Very good.
Did we
She's
save
gone.
her?
You did. Very good.
Help, Josie, help!
What's the matter? Oh,
Someone's. well, I haven't even checked if they're breathing.
No, that's a good idea. Let's check
Yeah.
if they're breathing or not.
Check the breathing.
Good.
10 seconds. They're not breathing. Can you get the defibrillator?
She's dying. She's dying.
Yes, I
She's
can.
dying. Right, we have to
Hand
start
on the
this
chest.
immediately.
Yes, good.
Yeah, come on.
I'm
Lovely
the wrong
stuff.
way. 999.
Dexter.
Defibrillator, and I need access.
Heel of the hand between the shoulder blades. I'm going to hit you hard. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Cough for me. Cough, cough, cough. Yes, a proper blow. A good strong blow between the shoulders. Check for them. We try the back blow up to 5 times. Check each time. Don't just stand there beating the hell out of them. Okay. If after the 5th back blow it's out, it's ineffective, then we go for the abdominal thrust. Okay. Now, with the abdominal thrust, we make a fist with our non-dom hand, thumb to tongue. Make a fist and bring that part of the fist to the casualty's belly. Where we want to be is halfway between where the ribs finish and the belly button is. So in the centre of the squishy bit of the tongue. Well, not squish on you because you'll drift.
Well, I don't know about that.
So in there, strong hand in, and then our mission is to pull in and up. So you imagine the casualties in front of me, fist, thumb to tongue, because we want that hard thumb pushing up against the diaphragm.
Yeah.
And our mission is to try and bring this fist up to their chin. We're never going to make that, but it gives us a good idea of that angle we need to push up. And it's a short, sharp thrust. Boom. To hopefully compress the diaphragm and in turn the lungs, and then boom, it pushes out of the mouth. Okay?
Wrap round like that, fist in here,
Yeah.
just under the ribs.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
lean them forward more, yeah?
Yeah. And in you go. Good strong pull up.
Yeah. A couple of broken ribs serves you right for chewing your steak. I told you,
Yeah,
how
for
many
sure.
times have I
Chew
told
your
you?
food. Right, so the assisted thrust.
There we go.
Here we go. Make a piston with your arm. Now, wrist placement is key. If your wrist is out of alignment, you'll probably break your wrist against their belly. So keep it straight. Put your other hand around it to support it. Bring your fist against their belly. Brace for me, one leg
Yeah.
behind you.
Yeah. So you're gonna have someone behind them in order to.
Yeah. And then we can check what's going on. And you've got a lovely strong platform. If the back blows are ineffective after 5 of those. And if we can get it out, sweep it. Now the important thing with babies is their colour, okay? Now babies can choke on all sorts, a little bit of snot, regurgitating milk, on all sorts of things. Now if the baby's just sort of red, okay, they're dealing with it. So in this instance, I'd sit baby on my lap, just lean them forward, support them, just like I'm winding them after a bottle or something, okay? Just give them a little bit of time, keeping a close eye on them. They'll probably regurgitate and just sort of vomit a little bit and all will be good in the world. If their colour changes and you start to see blue appear around the lips, that's our cue to get physical with them.
Okay.
So a lot of people panic and just go straight into it, where actually, if the baby's just on some phlegm or snot or something like that, just let them sit there and just supporting them, they reset and deal with it. If, however, we see blueness come, they're a problem now because they're becoming hypoxic, and that's our time to intervene and get physical with them. Well,
Sounds better saying Krav Maga.
Maga, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially that's Hebrew for contact combat. Let me show you just a quick bit before we go. Grab my wrist. Okay, a lot of people when they grab like that, they try and pull through.
If you push forward.
Right, grab with all you got, give it all the beans.
Yeah.
Tight.
Oh, tight, okay. Yeah.
What?
Thought you were holding tight.
Well, I mean...
Really tight.
Okay, yeah. Well, because you're twisting, aren't you?
Yeah. What it is, so I don't mean
No.
What it is, when you're gripping, this is the doorway to get out.
Yeah. So you're twisting out. So going out
It's just that sort of twist out.
Rather
So if I
than
try and
pull.
pull through.
I see, yeah.
So if I just pop your sleeve up for me. If I grab you hard.
Yeah, I see what you mean, rather than... Yeah, which actually, that is the
That's the
natural...
natural reaction, but if you just chop out of it.
Straight away. There you go, Krav Maga.
There you go, you're good to go.
The clip I'm picking up there.
Mission prep.
Parkour.
Yeah.
Krav Maga.
Oh no, Annie's stick.
What should we ask her to do first?
Annie, can you... Or first, should it be, calm down, Annie, breathe,
Calm down,
breathe.
calm.
Right, so I'm holding her,
Around the chest, good strong.
just like that?
Yeah, boom. Good. So you really do give them a hard time there. This is what we're saying. Very good. Up to 5 times, that's good.
Okay.
Let's go for the abdominal thrust. Make a fist, thumb to thumb.
There.
Wind your head behind hers. Good strong up, in and up.
Oh, that's
So
fine.
close, so
Yeah,
close.
it's
And then, yes!
Did that come out?
It came out.
Yay!
Bingo.
Saved that. Well, hello my darlings. It is, my gosh, like 7 or 8 hours later. Do I look tired? I feel tired. I feel mentally quite exhausted. Chloe said the same thing as she was leaving a second ago, and I think it's just so much new information absorbed in one day. But oh my gosh, that was actually quite fun. So much better than I thought it was going to be. Chloe had done one in the past and she said they can be quite long and boring days, but this was actually really interactive. Graham was amazing. I'll leave a link down below to where we found him, and he actually travels all across the UK to do these day courses in office first aid, home first aid. He does mental health training, he does fire, self-defense. He was so knowledgeable and very, very passionate about his topics, and wow, I just feel like I've learned so much. We did get lots of information booklets, but I took quite a lot of notes as well because there's so much that I didn't want to forget. So we covered everything from wounds and burns to choking, and we spent obviously a lot of time on CPR. And linking back to the whole reason that we wanted to do this first aid day, I just want to be confident that I would know what to do should the worst happen. If you come across someone and they're not breathing, would you know what to do? And honestly, I think if the answer to that is no, then it would be so useful to do a course like this. Like we've got, in the UK at least, there are defibrillating machines. Most places there is actually a website, again I'll leave it linked down below, I'll pop it on the screen here as well, where you can find your nearest defibrillator. Before today, firstly I wouldn't have really had a clue what they do. I wouldn't have known how to get to one. You have to call 999 and then read the code on the like phone box thing, and then it will unlock and then you have access to the defibrillator. But there are also so many things in movies that they do, like putting the pads here and here, that you're not meant to do, because then they just send the electric current between each other, whereas if you put it here and here, then it goes through your heart and hopefully doesn't restart it. What was the word? I don't know, but it doesn't restart your heart, it just kind of maintains it, I think. Yeah, so we learnt about how to give CPR, when to give CPR. I feel like, well, I did show you a few examples on the screen, but I don't want to tell you here within this YouTube video, because imagine if I tell you the slightest thing wrong. But what I will say is the most important thing, check your surroundings, that there's no danger for you or the person. Like, don't do this in the middle of the road. Check if they're responsive, shout to them and ask them to blink if they can hear you. Pat them on the shoulders, and then if they don't respond, put your cheek to their mouth for 10 seconds, which is quite a long amount of time, but as an adult we only take 1 or 2 breaths within 10 seconds, and you don't want to start doing all of this if they are breathing. If they are breathing, then you can put them into a recovery position. But yeah, if someone is not breathing, that's when you need to do CPR. So hand on the forehead to tip their head back, so the chin is up to clear the airway, and then you do knuckle or like ball of the hand to the sternum, straight arms, bending over so that you've got all of your force, not like wonky arms like this, because then you're not going to get much force. Straight arms, bending from the hips 30 times to staying alive, or for me it was Nelly the elephant. 30 times, and then hands over nose and 2 breaths. So give them mouth to mouth twice, and then back 30 seconds. And he said, it was quite scary actually when Charlie was doing it especially. I was like, oh my gosh, you're probably gonna break ribs. Yes, that does often happen, but you'd much rather survive. Like, if your airways are blocked and you're not breathing, then you are dead. But you can definitely survive and be absolutely fine from a couple of broken ribs. You're meant to press down the depth of a credit card, which is that much. So that's a long way to push down. You have to really go for it. And yeah, now I feel like I would actually know what to do. I would be fairly confident giving someone CPR. If a person is not breathing, then you need to look around, find someone who can run and get a defibrillator, attach it, and then obviously call an ambulance as well. And the defibrillators actually give you instructions, so it's very clear what to do. Pad there, pad there. If you get it in the wrong place, you can't unpeel it and re-stick it because it's just a one-use sticker, and it won't stick again the second time. And then the machine will say, okay, clear the patient, and then you move away because you don't want to get that electric shock, and then it'll shock the patient, and then you do CPR again. 30 seconds CPR, 2 breaths, shock, over and over, over and over and over and over until the ambulance arrives or they start breathing again. If you've had to use a defibrillator, they're probably not gonna start breathing again. So you're basically just keeping the oxygen moving around the body and the muscles around the heart active by doing CPR. Just so many little tips that we learn as well. Remember, CPR is like Pringles. Once you pop, you don't stop. You've just got to keep doing it, which is why it's really useful to find people around you to help with CPR, like make sure they're doing it properly. If someone is breathing but they're having a heart attack, obviously that's a whole different kettle of fish. If they're breathing, something that actually, I'm not going to tell you all of this because I don't want to get any of this wrong. Can you imagine if I got sued because I gave the wrong information? With wounds, obviously just applying pressure, slow the flow of blood. Some things which I thought were true, which are not true. If you get a burn, you don't want to shove it under freezing cold water for 10 minutes. That's what I previously thought. It needs to be cool water, so it's not like freezing cold for 20 minutes. If it's a chemical burn, make sure you flush it, obviously. If you get blisters, whether it's from burning or an animal sting, never pop your blisters, apparently, because obviously then infections can get in. If you are watching your husband or your boyfriend play rugby, there's an accident, if there is swelling, you want to cool it down. If it's a muscle that needs repairing, then you can warm it up. If you come across an amputation, then keep the fallen off finger cool, wrap it up and put a label on it with the person's name. Apparently there are lots of limbs that come into hospitals. We learned a lot about like fire safety. Oh my goodness, we looked through our first aid kit and checked that everything firstly was in date, because first aid things have an expiry date. Checked that we had everything that we needed. I've got a big shopping list here. What I might do is I might do an Amazon page link with everything on this list, because most things you can get from Amazon. We will check that the retailer on Amazon does good expiry dates. And yeah, I would definitely recommend just making sure you've got all of this stuff at home, especially in a house like this. We've got a few fire extinguishers, but he was saying how fire sticks are really useful, because you literally take the top off, throw it into the room, and I think it like sucks the oxygen out or something, stops the fire. Yeah, so I will do a little Amazon shopping list for you. Hopefully you'd find that useful. But no, it was brilliant. Graham was great. It was a really fun interactive day. He even showed us a little bit of dog CPR. Gosh, so the main thing is, I feel armed with knowledge. I feel like if there was a situation, oh, and we did choking as well, which you probably will have seen me attempting at the end of those last clips. But yeah, if an emergency happened and someone like shouted, does anyone know first aid? I would be like, yep, I do. And I genuinely feel confident that I would be able to help. The worst thing you can do is do nothing. He was saying that we are protected by the Good Samaritan law in the UK. So if you try and save someone's life and it doesn't go quite the way that you planned, like nothing bad is going to come back on you. You tried. That person would have died if it wasn't for you intervening. So yeah, always try. He said if it's not wrong, it's right. And the wrong thing to do is just do nothing. So yeah, I think even if I get something slightly wrong when I'm doing CPR, that will be better than not having a clue what to do. So yes, I would definitely recommend doing one of those. If you work for a company and you don't know first aid, why don't you mention it to your superior? Or if you're the superior, why don't you organize it for your team to do a first aid day? It was 10 till 5, so it's a full day, but really useful. And I would definitely recommend Graham. I'm sure there are people that do it and it's very boring, but Graham was great. We had great chats. We had a lot of similar viewpoints on a lot of kind of wellness things. Funnily, Graham is plant-based, so I was like, I've got a treat for you in the freezer. Obviously I have a freezer full of all plants, so that was very useful. And yeah, he's given us some great podcast recommendations, some great book recommendations. How Not to Die, he spoke about that book quite a lot. It's yeah, a lot of things that we've been talking about recently, like nutrition and diet, he was very interested in too. My hair colour, I'm so happy with how it looks. Anyway, I feel like I want to take off my makeup and just slather my face in moisturizer after a very long day of learning. I feel like it's been a back to school day, so I think Charlie and I might take the boys for a little walk. It's been a gloriously sunny day. We've been in the house all day, but yeah, might take the boys for a little WALK, and then it's time to cook something yummy for dinner. Okay, my darlings, I thought I would film a voiceover for our dinner. So we did a bit of a half and half dinner. My dinner was butternut squash a la vodka pasta, and Charlie had a very similar version but without the vodka. I know you cook it all off, but still. So I'm using this twizzly spaghetti. I made a delicious butternut squash puree, added in some Grey Goose vodka, tomato paste and milk to make the most scrumptious sauce. I used some Gruyere cheese, which was fantastic. There's Charlie's version without the vodka. And this twizzly spaghetti is honestly one of the best things in the entire world. A little bit of pasta cooking water to loosen it up, and oh my goodness, I garnished with some hazelnuts and some buttered sage leaves which had gone crispy by cooking them, and some pumpkin seeds, and that was our incredibly delicious dinner. Thank you darlings for watching, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Good night.